Did you know millennials are the generation with the fastest growing debt? With an average of $27,251 in non-mortgage consumer debt. That's a lot of money. A lot of this can be attributed to student loans, inflation, and an overall rise in consumer spending. In today's video, I'm going to be covering a debt payoff strategy for millennials so they can have more spending power while reducing financial stress. Hey guys, my name is Marquis and welcome to my YouTube channel. I've been studying finance for 4 years now, and something that I'm really passionate about is equipping people with the knowledge so they can take charge of their financial future. With costs rising and inflation at an all-time high, I thought it was really important to make this video that focused on a debt payoff strategy for millennials specifically, since this generation is really feeling the force of the rising costs and inflation. I'm going to be introducing a 4-part framework that is easy to implement that you can do today that can help assist you in your debt-free journey and overcoming debt anxiety. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. Before we get into debt payoff strategies, we need to know exactly what it is we owe. That's why the first part in this framework is identifying your debts. I want you to get an Excel sheet, pen and paper, whatever works for you, and I want you to list out all the debts you owe. And within each of those debts, I want you to have the minimum payments due, the total amount owed, your payment due dates, and also the APR or interest rate that you're paying on these debts. It's very important to have all of these grouped together because it helps you psychologically digest it all. Then we can formulate a plan of attack to help overcome debt anxiety and reducing financial stress. It'll give you a very clear picture of what exactly you're dealing with, and then we can move forward in tackling it all. Our second part of the framework is restructuring your debt, and I'm going to give you 2 methods to do so. The first one is renegotiating to a lower interest rate. If you take anything from this video, please let it be this. Just because you were given an interest rate doesn't mean you have to stick with it through the whole life of the loan. Remember, at the end of the day, the bank wants to keep you as a customer, and that's your leverage. Whether it's a higher interest rate or a lower interest rate, they still make money off of you. So what I would do is I'd call my bank, use any leverage that I've had, something along the lines of, oh hey, I've been a customer for this amount of years and I've had no late payments. I would like to renegotiate to a lower APR or interest rate. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it is worth giving a shot because a lower interest rate can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars over the long run. The second strategy in restructuring our debt is a balance transfer. So the way this works is you take a portion of the debt you owe, or all of the debt you owe, and you transfer it to a credit card that has a lower interest rate than the one that you are currently paying. The best credit cards offer a 0% APR over a specific time period, but it is worth noting that this is only truly worth it if that promotional period is 6 months or longer. 2 things that you need to watch out for and ask about is there a balance transfer fee? A lot of great companies offer a 0% balance transfer fee, but it is also standard for that range to be within 3 to 5%. The second thing that you need to ask, and that is very critical to remember, is what happens if that balance transfer is not paid within the promotional period? AKA, what's going to be your new interest rate once that period is over? This will be very important for you to decide if the balance transfer is worth it or not, depending on your own unique financial position. Now we are entering the meatiest part of this video, which is choosing a debt payoff strategy. So there are 2 common methods, one being the snowball method and one being the avalanche method. Once you understand one, the other one will be easy for you to pick up on, so we're going to go into the snowball method first. From part 1, we collected all of the information we needed, which is all of the debts you owe, along with the minimum monthly payment, the payment due date, balance owed, and the interest and APR on those debts. What we're going to do is list them all out in order from least amount owed all the way to the most amount owed. And the way the snowball method works is you're going to make your monthly minimum payment on all of your debts except for the least amount owed. You're going to make your monthly minimum payment on it, but any extra money that you have that you're using to tackle and fight your debt, you're going to throw it all into the least amount owed and do that month over month until that debt is essentially paid off. Now, here is where the snowball method really starts to take effect. Once you've paid off the least amount owed, you jump into the second least amount owed. With that one, you're going to make its monthly minimum payment along with any extra money that you're using to fight your debt, but also the minimum monthly payment for the least amount owed that you just paid off. You're going to put that straight into the second least amount owed, and you're going to do this over month until that one is eventually paid off. And then once you get to your third least amount owed, not only are you paying its minimum monthly payment, but the minimum monthly payment from the least amount owed that you just paid off, the first and the second, along with any extra cash that you have. All of that gets funneled into the third least amount owed. And as you can see, as you go higher in your debt chain, the sum of money that you're contributing to your debt gets bigger and bigger. Just like a snowball rolling downhill, it gets bigger and bigger. And so the chunk of money that you are putting towards your debt gets huge, and the debt payoff gets a lot faster as you get further down the list. The difference between the snowball method and the avalanche method is the metric used. As we saw with the snowball method, the metric used is balance owed. So we started with the least amount and ended with the one with the highest amount owed. With the avalanche method, the metric used is interest rate. So we start off with the highest interest debt and then end with the lowest interest debt. The reasoning behind this is tackling the debt that is costing you the most, aka the one with the highest interest rate. By eliminating this one over the long run, the amount of money owed gets smaller and smaller, and that is the key difference between the two. The avalanche method follows all of the same principles that were stated within the snowball method. The only key difference, once again, is the metric used. One uses balance owed, while one goes off of interest rate and APR. You may be wondering why anyone would choose the snowball method over the avalanche method, given that it is the more logical choice, and this comes down to pure psychology. Someone who's been struggling with the debt payoff strategy may find it more motivating over the long run to have debts completely wiped off their list. For me personally, I would say use a mix and match approach. If a snowball method gets you more invigorated and consistent with your debt payoff, then go with that, and then as you make progress, you can switch to the avalanche method as you see fit. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that you are taking action in reducing your financial stress. The fourth and final part of the framework is automation. I am a big fan of automation because it takes all the guesswork out of it. You don't have to keep up with your payment due dates, you can set it and forget it, and it becomes an integral part of your life set in overcoming debt anxiety. And while this is working in the background, and if you don't check it and you stay consistent on the plan that we've mapped out, you're going to see that the debt can be paid off, and it's not as big as a challenge as it may have seemed in the beginning. Especially when this is done over months, years, you will be able to become debt-free, and I'm happy that I was able to draw out a plan for you to do so. So remember, set it and forget it and keep pushing. There you have it, guys, my debt payoff strategy for millennials. We identified the debt, restructured the debt, chose a debt payoff strategy, and automation. All of these factors will help you become debt-free and have more control over your financial future. I hope you enjoyed this video and it provided a lot of value for you. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and stick around for more future financial and self-improvement videos that I have coming down the line. Until then, I will see you next time.